In football, a spiral is critical.
To be the third best quarterback in the state of Florida, it was really an honor.
The mechanics are key to its flight.
Just an amazing experience.
Alton Voss seemed to have the spiral
I threw it 73 yards.
mastered.
The letters started coming after my sophomore year.
His picture splashed across the Florida headlines.
The dream of NFL, that popped in my head probably around age 10.
Putting him on the radar of major programs.
University of Florida, Miami, South Florida was in the mix, West Virginia, North Carolina State.
He pursued his dream at South Florida.
I felt like it'd be, a smooth transition for me to go there and step in and be the starting quarterback.
But that never happened.
I was losing myself.
Alton didn't play.
And I just couldn't handle it.
His spiral started downward.
My friend just asked me, he goes, would you like to try this? So I tried it. And then I tried it a few more times, and then eventually, I became addicted.
His drugs of choice?
Oxycontin, roxicodone.
The quarterback's progressions from one drug to another grew.
I had a lot of extra scholarship money. That was supporting my drug habit.
Alton went from scoring on the field
I just knew I needed this pill.
to making a score.
It felt so right to do it.
He would quit South Florida for a life of addiction
I could not see that I was killing myself.
and desperation.
My friend, he showed me how to manipulate an MRI report. I walked away with 120 Oxycontin.
The user became the dealer.
I was selling to anybody.
Alton was spinning out of control.
I was in my closet. I'm shooting, or trying to shoot this into my veins.
Belt tied around his arm, a syringe of cocaine in hand. The sensation quickly led to a near overdose.
Thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Thought of my family. Just what if I had really just, overdosed and died, and they'd walked in, the next morning and saw my corpse there with all my trophies behind me.
Alton survived and eventually landed in Holland, Michigan.
I had this intuition I was gonna win the lottery.
An intuition that prompted a criminal act.
The car was running, and I just took off.
Alton stole the car.
Did a little joyride for about 10, 15 minutes. There was just something pulling me into a direction.
And drove to North Holland Cemetery.
So I just walked to a tombstone, and it felt right, like for me to pray to God.
Addiction led him to the grave.
I knew to ask for forgiveness and, in a direction.
Alton's spiral had finally spun out.
He answered my prayer, and he gave me a solution.
Almost immediately.
I was at the intersection of Butternut and James.
I got out of my vehicle, pointed my weapon at him, ordered him to get down on the ground.
And at that moment, he could have shot me, but he didn't.
Arrested by Officer Joe Slink.
I held him there until I had sufficient backup.
Alton spent a week in jail, where he was appointed an attorney.
And he was just lost.
Jane Patterson.
Got the charges reduced to a misdemeanor. Brought him in court in front of Judge Canal, and credit for time served, out the door the next morning back to Florida.
But Alton's connection with Jane didn't end there.
He and I started talking every day.
She knew of a place where his addiction could be cured.
I want to send him down to Argentina for the diagnosis at CMI Abasto.
I didn't even have to think twice.
Soon after arriving in Argentina,
I Google Alton Voss on the internet.
his arresting officer
I start thinking, wait a second, I arrested that kid.
reached out.
There was just this pull that I needed to look into this farther.
A friendship was born.
You were the officer that arrested me, and now you want to come down and visit me in Argentina?
He's one of my best friends.
It had to be us in this journey for Alton Voss. It had to be Joe that arrested him, because Joe was going to pay attention. It had to be me, because I paid attention.
Halfway through his 2-year treatment,
We're going to give him a second chance.
football found him.
We're going to start him out tight end.
A chance to play at Grand Valley State.
He's got to get through camp.
He returned from treatment in June.
We're going to grind him hard.
Practices began in August,
Really, it's all in Alton.
while his support system grew.
Now I'm living with Joe Slink's parents.
It's been the most rewarding experience I can say in my law enforcement career.
Alton's spiral is once again rising, looking true.
I haven't even entertained the idea of wanting to use.
But most importantly, he's got it going straight.
His life is going to be so much more than football. It already is.
It's just the beginning, it's just stage one.
In Holland, Brent Ashcroft. WZZM 13 News.